How's it going, everybody? And all you art lovers, I'm assuming you liked art. That's why you're here. You've seen the video, the title, or you've seen the one I did before this one. But this is another set of art pages done by a buddy I knew in 7th grade and 8th grade, 1979, 1980. The other guy was junior high, or was elementary, a year or so before that. The other artwork I showed. This one, I know this guy's name. His name was Eric Peterson. Same deal with him. I always wondered if he ever became an artist or a comic book guy. I don't think so because I haven't heard of him, but could be wrong. If anything, he would have probably went into some kind of artwork, I would think. Maybe architecture, something like that. But anyway, here's the first one. Star Wars was still pretty big at the time. Fresh, 2 years, 3 years old. Here's one he did of C-3PO and R2-D2. Now, Eric Peterson was in one of my classes, I believe. Might have been art class or just a homeroom class like the other guy. And we went to uh, Union Park Junior High, Orlando, Florida. And he was a big fan of football. He knew I like football, so he did a whole set of football pictures here. They're all quarterbacks, I believe. Ron Jaworski tells you how old these are. Number 7, Philadelphia Eagles. Got some big old pads. And there's the signature. Next one. This is a good one. This is Ken Anderson, Cincinnati Bengals, number 14. And he knew I was a Miami fan. And at the time, Bob Greasy was still in everybody's minds. From Miami, number 12. Cool shot. The next one, Richard Todd, New York Jets. Here's another good one, Steve Grogan. This is a really good shot. I think he took a little more time on this one. It's got a little bit more detail to it. Number 14, New England Patriots, Steve Grogan. Pretty cool. Here's another good one, Dan Pastorini from the Houston Oilers, when Houston was still called that. Some more good detail on this one too. All in pencil, of course. This is a good one. This, I believe, is one of the pictures, one of the heroes on the cover of How to Draw Comics, or something like that it was, done by Marvel. Because I remember this picture of Iron Man in the front, prominent. It's a good Iron Man. Okay. The next one is pretty cool. I always like this one too. This was Renee. This is at the time, shortly after the Vietnam War, so this is a Vietnam scene. Viet Cong and the Army. Pretty detailed. I don't know how long it took him to do this one. He was pretty quick. It probably took him maybe an hour or two. Here's something he did on construction paper, which leads me to believe that we had art class together. This is, these are like the Robin Hood era characters. That one is with a bow. You can tell by the outfit. Here's another one if you open it up. These are just like his doodles or stuff he was going to do and didn't finish. There's another one. This is a Spanish soldier. Could be English. It's hard to say. Now, for the funny one. Interesting. He did his own little comic here. I don't have the original pages, but he made a copy of it. I think it was on the school copier. Maybe the library, something like that, of his own little comic that he did. Radioactive Man. A radioactive man. Was art in 30 cents. You can see that's when comics were still about 25 to 30 cents. And the bad guy here is actually one of the teachers that I cannot remember his name. But I know if I look in the yearbook, I can figure it out. I didn't have him for any classes, but I believe Eric did have him. I knew it as soon as I seen him who he was at that time back then, because it's a pretty good likeness. Oh, let me the other part of it here. If y'all want to read it, it's kind of goofy, but hey, what do you expect? We were only 13, 14 years old, so. But a really good artist. Can imagine how he was in high school or later, if he pursued it. I would hope he did. I really do. I haven't heard that name unless he changed his name as possible. There you have it. Eric Peterson's little homemade comic and artwork. Now, next up, I will do the stuff I drew when I thought I was an artist. Mostly from the late 80s, early 90s, but I did do one after this. Peterson inspired me. And so did the kid before, a year or two before, to do some drawing myself. So I'll get into that in the next video. So y'all leave a like, comment, and later.